as Tony stepped out of the cave. He was startled to see two reclusive martial arts masters locked in an intense battle. Frightened, he quickly hid behind a stone pillar. The two warriors displayed extraordinary swordsmanship, their skills evenly matched. As they leaped into the air, clashing swords mid-flight, the white-haired woman suddenly sensed something was wrong. Her strength was fading. She had been drugged, suppressing the effects of the poison. She swung her sword and attempted to close in, but her opponent kicked a massive boulder toward her. She slashed it in half with a single stroke, only to be caught off guard. In that instant, her opponent struck, sending her flying with a powerful kick, and that's when she noticed Tony. But her opponent wasn't finished. Another deadly strike was coming straight at her, summoning all her remaining strength. The woman unleashed a devastating palm strike. Seeing an opportunity, Tony turned to flee, but before he could take a step, a cold blade was pressed against his throat. The woman, struggling against the poison, forced him to detoxify her. By morning, Tony waited for her to fall asleep and tried to slip away, but the moment he stepped outside, a sword tip was already at his neck. With a chilling gaze, the woman warned him, "Forget everything that happened here." Then, with a single strike, she knocked him unconscious. When Tony awoke, she was gone. But something was different. His body felt surging with power. He focused his energy, and to his shock, his martial arts level skyrocketed in an instant. Tony was the rightful heir of his clan, but he had been betrayed by his own kin and thrown into the dangerous Taitsong Mountains, falling into an icy pool at the bottom of a cliff. He barely survived and found shelter in the cave. Yet, he couldn't comprehend why his cultivation had suddenly soared. Just then, a drop of blood from his hand fell onto his family heirloom jade pendant. In a flash, the pendant absorbed him into a mysterious space. Inside, he encountered the spiritual remnants of a grandmaster and expert in both alchemy and righteous martial arts. 500 years ago, the master had been hunted down for possessing this jade pendant. To escape death, his soul had taken refuge within it. Now, Tony had become the master's successor. Emerging from the pendant's space, he inherited the grandmaster's legendary martial arts techniques. Channeling his newfound power, he rapidly advanced, breaking through multiple levels in succession. With his strength now vastly superior, it was time for revenge. Returning to the city, he immediately encountered one of the enemies who had betrayed him. But Tony was no longer the weakling they once despised. With ease, he blocked his foe's attack, then delivered a resounding slap across his face. But this was just the beginning. After returning to his family estate and cleaning himself up, trouble arrived at his doorstep. The father of his wounded enemy had come, dragging his heavily injured son behind him.